Don't,
It's ordered then?
nobody get a ring without the 10% coupon, because either I can give you a code or find one. Like, I get nothing for it, it's just, don't pay full price.
Hi, Mike.
So I'm gonna hit record when you,
Okay,
like 10
Yep.
seconds before you tell me you wanna.
go right now.
This conference will now be recorded.
The Finance Committee's called to order at 7:15 PM on Wednesday, July 9th. So, the first order of business, because I don't know what my agenda said, is the transfers.
Yes, please.
Perfect, let's do that.
All right, to get through the last of FY 25, we need a few transfers. There is $61,937 left in the reserve fund
Perfect.
at this time. The first reserve fund transfer request is Tagil Building, $5,000. Present balance, I don't know if you want me to read them or you want to read them, to seal the roof again, to protect against elements because the building is closed and the needed repair was unknown at budget time.
And so, there's $244 in the appropriation, the amount requested is $5,000, it's well within, what's left in our reserve discretionary funding. Do I have a motion to approve this transfer?
Make a motion.
Second? All in favor? Aye. You can sign that, and the amount of the, oh, sorry, the approval request can be 5,000.
Can I interrupt the chair? Because you have a member that's remote, you're gonna have to do a roll call vote.
Okay, so can we do a roll call vote? Mike?
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Laurie? Aye. So that's one down.
Do you want me to continue to read them or do you want to read them?
I don't know what I have to do, so,
Okay. I will tell you what you have on the docket. How's that?
perfect, you tell me.
Easy peasy. $659.33 is being requested for the town manager wage to cover payout for outgoing employee. We had someone, upon separation, the town's required to pay out accrued vacation time, et cetera, and a staff member left in June, so we had to cover that.
So does anybody have any questions? There's zero amount available. The amount of the payout was $659.33 for the accrued time, which is required by law that you pay out. So do I have any conversation? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Mike McMorrow, you're voting
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Laurie? Aye. Two down,
There we go.
three to go.
So the next one is $746.60 being requested for animal control wage. Present balance is zero to cover final payroll costs for assistance and on-call coverage. Calls just exceeded expectations.
And that amount is $746.60. I think that leaves sufficient fund balance if we approve it. Mike, do you have anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Mike?
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Laurie, aye. So 3-0-0, motion passes. And we are cranking with gas.
I love it.
Love it.
Next up, requesting $5,000 for the police station building. Present balance is zero to cover final invoices, including energy costs, which we just got the electric bills today. So late. This expenditure is extraordinary because we had $5,000, over $5,000 in heating repairs that were not expected.
Is there any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Mike?
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Laurie, aye. So 3-0-0. Crankin. And the last one is?
The last one is, we're requesting $24,000.
Oh my God.
I know, I knew that would get your attention. $155.91 for the law account
Ugh.
to pay June labor and general counsel bills along with investigator fees for an ongoing case. Town council costs and needs were underestimated at budget time. Investigator fees were not budgeted for as no investigation was ongoing at that time.
At that time, right, so is there any discussion, and I would predicate that with, because it's for an ongoing investigation and it involves town personnel and all of that, we're limited in the scope of the questions we could ask. Other than the fact that it is an ongoing investigation and these funds are due and payable.
Do we have any idea how long this is gonna last?
The investigation, Mike, should be wrapped up, by the end of August.
Okay.
So, you know, we're probably looking at another, you know, I know it's a rough number, but between 2,000 and 5,000 more, but that's out of the FY '26 budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than these costs, is there any other financial impact that we're expecting?
No, not at this time.
Would it be based on the result of the investigation, whether or not there would be any other financial costs incurred?
No, I don't think so. Once the investigation's done, that'll be it. So, and this is, you know,
So there's no monetary, the result of the investigation will not result in monetary liability,
as far as I know.
as far as we are aware at this point in time.
Right, that's a totally different, you know, any punitive damages or any lawsuits or anything like that, we wouldn't know.
Right, but I just wanted, it's kind of for, and I see we have a resident, on board tonight, and I wanna make sure that, everyone is on the same page. So, do I have a motion for $24,155.91, to be transferred to the law account for the ongoing investigation for the general counsel bills and investigator fees for this ongoing labor case?
I'll make a motion.
And do I have a second?
Second.
And Mike, what's your vote? And Katie, what's your vote?
Aye.
And Laurie is aye, so we have passed 3-0-0, and it's a big number for me to write here. I'm not just like 700. I gotta write like a lot of numbers. And so is that.
That's it.
That's it.
The total that we just transferred was $35,561.84.
And that leaves the balance at.
About 25,000.
And
26,400.
And so that 26,400 that's remaining and change will then go into the free cash
Yeah,
amount.
it'll flow into unreserved, and that will be the basis of free cash.
Correct. So, right, the money doesn't dissipate, it just rolls. So that is that, and the next and last order of business is, we have received a letter of interest. We have 2 slots on the finance committee that are available. I believe there's been interest from a couple of parties, but the one that is on the agenda for tonight, and that was the one that was received first, was Brian Gibbons. I believe I sent everybody on the finance committee his letter of interest. Did everybody have a time to take a look at that, or?
Yes. Can you guys still hear me, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Mike, I had to shut your camera off. We've been dealing with some security issues, but you're still here.
Okay.
In case you thought you weren't, you are. And so does anyone have any questions, comments, anything that they would like to say or clarifications that they would like from Brian's letter of interest? Because we have to so now that Steve Williams, our town manager, is going to be the appointing authority for the finance committee as opposed to the town moderator, apparently the finance committee needs to accept these letters of interest, review them, discuss them, and then make a formal vote on them. And at that point, we send our letter of recommendation, like we do a formal written recommendation to the town manager on whether or not we support their letter of interest and have them to be appointed to the committee. I personally, I will say that I have seen Brian Gibbons participate at almost every meeting. I know he's unable to be here tonight because I believe he's out of state, but I've seen him participate at every meeting. I certainly don't always agree with him or anyone and what have you, but I think he's got really thoughtful perspectives. He does his research. He comes prepared. He's got a lot of experience, as far as I'm aware, with municipalities. He understands how they work. He understands the financial aspect of it. He does have a strong financial background, even though he doesn't work like in the financial sector like some of us do. He does have a strong understanding, and I think personally, I think he offers a fresh perspective. And again, it would just add a whole different fresh perspective to the mix for people to consider. And so I would be in favor of recommending him to be appointed to the finance committee. I don't know if Katie or Mike, if either of you have any comments, questions, concerns.
I like new and fresh.
I love new
think
and fresh,
it's
yeah.
good.
There you go. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, no, I looked over everything and I agree with you that I've also seen the participation and anybody willing to help out. I
Right.
certainly get a fair one, so.
Especially somebody that's that like thoughtful and like comes prepared and
Right,
Like-
just ramble on and likes to hear themselves talk.
right. He comes with solid information and varied perspectives that I've even sometimes said, "Wait a minute, thank you." Like I thank you for telling me that. So could we have a motion to recommend that Brian Gibbons be appointed to the finance committee for the Steve, I gotta stop myself. Angela is up for a 3-year term, and John Ritter has 2 years remaining, correct?
Right, so
So can we appoint him to Angela's vacancy? And that would mean we'd need somebody for a 2-year, or what, how can we, because we have 2 seats available, one for a 3-year, one for a 2-year continuation.
you can make a recommendation that it be either or.
So I would recommend that we would have him, have Brian be appointed to the 3-year seat that would be that is available currently. And do Mike or Katie, do either of you feel differently?
It seems like, I thought Mr. Gibbons reached out and asked if it would be a for some reason I think John's term, he only had a year left.
Oh, maybe.
And I think Mr. Gibbons had already asked if it would be the remainder of his term or a full 3 years, and I think he wanted the 1 year.
So could we recommend appointing Mr. Gibbons as the first of the vacant seats and ask him which term he would prefer to accept, either the first or the 1 year or the 3-year term? Mike and Katie, does anybody have a different opinion?
No, I agree with that.
So can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Mike, I need a roll call.
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Laurie, aye. So that's 3 in favor. So I will draft something and send it to the town manager and copy the FinCom. And then I believe that's it for tonight. So we can, once we get Brian Gibbons appointed, and hopefully someone else as well, 5, but minimally Brian, and we have 4, we can reorganize at our next meeting, because we have not reorganized, and we are in need of a clerk and like maybe a new chair or. So we definitely do need to talk about reorganizing. So we can do that at our next meeting, though, when everyone's able to be present and we're able to have that minimally have a 4th member. And before we leave, we do have letters of interest from other people, Steve.
I think we may have one, so.
And could you, is it okay for you to email the committee or me, and I can forward it to the committee, the letter of interest, and then we can discuss it at a meeting we'll have to schedule? Because we'd want to fill that position sooner rather than later.
Yep, I'm making a note right now.
So maybe an early August meeting we could have. And at that point, we could have Mr. Gibbons appointed and hopefully make a recommendation on a 5th. So that when we get into our September meetings, we'll have a full board. Perfect. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Woo, second.
Second.
All in favor? Mike?
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Lori, aye. Mike, have a great time at the Cape.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, have a great time. Have a great time. No. This is why we have electronics. I just literally got off a plane from North Carolina. It's fine. We are adjourned. So thank you. All right,
Thank you,
bye-bye.